So let's see how long my phone can last. The window up there on this window is so hot. But what it do? What it do? Let's talk about those of y'all that was watching last night and that was in the chat. We got this not Miami. We got the Notre Dame fan. We got a Notre Dame fan, and he is so annoying. He is so annoying, bro. He just be saying anything. Don't even be making logical. Don't even make no sense. No logic to what he be talking about. You know. And you know I found Notre Dame plenty of times. But you know, we're talking about I was talking about Riley Leonard and you know how they used him up on that drive. And this dude is so unlogical, so delusional in his points, or I guess he's just trolling. And he don't even understand that Marcus Freeman using Riley Leonard that much on that first drive was coaching for dummies. He don't even realize it. He think he getting off talking about how much he ran him on that drive. Oh, that's what we do that's what he had 900 yards for the season. Yeah, but every game is different. Nobody's saying you couldn't run him, but you ran him into the ground on the first drive, bonehead. That was stupid. That was stupid by Shamar Moore, your head coach. You praising it like it was smart. Him running Riley Leonard into the ground on the first drive basically made your offense obsolete for the whole first half. And you in the chat praising him like it was smart. You in the chat, that's like a Michigan fan praising Kirk Campbell and Harbaugh for the reverse pass against TCU. That's like us praising them for that call. You on here praising stupidity and bad coaching. You on here praising it. Boy, something wrong with dude. Something wrong with dude. I don't get that type of stuff because, you know, I love to analyze the game. And so seeing things like that, it really, you know, it really gets me because that was dumb. You done ran this dude so much on the first drive, seeing he's gassed, and you ran him like 2-3 more times after that. And he was cooked. He was cooked for the rest of the first half. And you know, we clown Notre Dame, but Notre Dame maybe could have played with Ohio State, maybe possibly could have won. I know Ohio State fans, they could have never won. I know. You don't got to say it. But if you don't run him into the ground and you can actually use him for the whole first half, use his greatest weapon, his legs, for the whole first half, instead of using it all up on that one drive, you might have won the game. But he's so boneheaded in his thinking, he's thinking that they actually won the game even though they lost. He in the chat celebrating like they won the game. And not even acknowledging the bonehead thing that Shamar Moore / Marcus Freeman did. He ain't even acknowledging it. And thinking he cooking in the chat. He really thought he was cooking in the chat. Boy, that was coaching for dummies in that first half. He made y'all look stupid. And we don't even want to talk about the defense, which I'm not even going to blame the coaches. I'm just laughing at the Notre Dame fan because he was telling us that Ohio State ain't ready for our secondary. The Ohio State ain't ready for our secondary. They ain't ready for what we got coming. Well, our defense is the best. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So I get that it's a homer take and he a homer, but bro, when your coach done did something that was so stupid to a logical fan, it's just like, bro, what are you on here celebrating? Like you just making yourself look bad. That wasn't smart. That was stupid. That was just dumb. Now if it was a video game, that was a smart call because the player only gets tired to a certain amount. But this ain't a video game. This is real life. You can see Riley Leonard was gassed three plays before that. A few plays before that, and he ran him 2-3 more times. After that, he goes to the sideline. He's over there throwing up, and he's looking like he just played a full football game. On the first drive. After the first drive, your quarterback, who you need to run, was over there looking like this. Coaching for dummies. And you over here rooting it on. You over here rooting it on. Yeah, we got him. We got him. We got 7 on Ohio State. They're going down. Doggone idiots. You and your coach. Both of y'all. I like to laugh at you and Shamar Moore side by side. Coaching for dummies. I love it. Because it just shows me who knows football, who don't know football. That was stupid. It's a 4-quarter game. You don't want to put all your chips into the first drive. Doggone dummy. Got the nerve to think you in the chat cooking. Boy, you doggone clown. But what else going on? I had to address the Notre Dame fan because he's just ridiculous. In the chat celebrating recruiting like he was just... Dude in the chat celebrating recruiting like they fresh off a national championship. Bro, y'all fresh off of losing a national championship. Like, I've never seen I can't say the whole fan base. It's mostly just this dude, this Notre Dame fan. And he celebrates like they beat Ohio State. He really does. And I've never seen nothing like it in my life. You know, because we just beat Washington for a natty. And I don't see Washington fans acting like that. I didn't see them acting like that last year. You know, they talked their stuff when they beat us last year. But, you know, they won a battle when we won the war. So they not running around like they won the natty. They got enough common sense to understand, yeah, we beat Michigan, but they beat us to win the national championship. But this dude is running around like Notre Dame really won the national championship. And like they're cooking and recruiting off of a national championship. Y'all didn't win, bro. Y'all didn't win, man. Like, this dude has been having my brain lost. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. So this dude been running around and celebrating it, and for whatever reason he comes to a lot of Michigan spaces. Not sure why. Michigan just won a natty in 2023. Michigan has beat Ohio State the last 4 years. Michigan beat Notre Dame the last time we played Notre Dame. So I'm not sure why he comes to our spaces thinking he's got a leg up on Michigan or something. Like, bro, Ohio State has dragged y'all or beat y'all, whether it was close or whether it wasn't, y'all lost. The last, 3 years they've played? They ain't beat Ohio State in a long time, regardless. But recent history, the last 3 times, the Natty, 2023, and 2022, they beat y'all. So I don't get why he be coming to our spaces and like they got something to hold over us. You talk about recruiting and all, like, bro, why are you so happy? I need whatever this dude is on. This Notre Dame fan. Like, bro, what are you on? Why are you so happy and just this dude is just in the chat so happy like Notre Dame is fresh off a natty or something. Like, I need some of whatever he on. Like, fresh off of winning a natty. Not fresh off of losing a natty. That's not an accomplishment to me. I'm from the Jordan era. We don't celebrate getting to the championship and losing. That's something we don't do. People from the Jordan era, fans of Jordan, we don't celebrate that type of stuff. Because we're used to seeing a dude go to the championship and he wins. Not celebrate losing. That's LeBron era stuff. No shade to LeBron fans, but y'all be celebrating that he got there and he lost. Jordan era fans, we don't do that. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So I need some of what that Notre Dame fan is on. I don't know if you drunk all the time. I don't know if you smoking that goodie. I don't know if you on that crack. I don't know what you do, brother. I don't know what you do when you at home by yourself. If you on some crack or something, you keep that for yourself. But whatever you own, if it's something light, I need some. Whatever it is. Cause this dude be killing me, bro. I was thinking about it last night after I got off the stream. Like, this dude is wild, boy. You got the nerve to talk about my takes? Boy, I done forgot more about football than you know. Because you don't even say logical stuff. You don't even say logical stuff. Oh, let's see. Penn State fans are wild. Well, we got the one Penn State fan that's been showing up. The Penn State bot. People think it's Garrison. I'm 25% that it may be Garrison. I don't think Garrison's gonna waste his time to do all that to post AI talking points. Garrison is too confident in his own takes to give you AI takes. Garrison ain't going to no AI. He gonna give you his own takes, regardless of if you like his takes or not. I know Garrison. I ain't going to no AI. I give him my own takes. I don't need no AI for my takes. Shout out to Garrison. But yeah, what else? So it looks like Michigan has picked up Jake Garcia, or is headed towards picking up Jake Garcia, quarterback at ECU. He was at Miami, then he went to what was that other school? Missouri, I believe, and then he was at East Carolina last year. And he's supposed to start something. He's a backup kind of guy. He's a backup. You know, it is what it is. You know, a guy that you don't expect to see the field. If he sees the field, something done went wrong. If he sees the field in meaningful time, something has went horribly wrong for us. Something has gone horribly. You know, so that's that for the most part. What else has been going on? We had the quarterback list. I think that was Josh Pate's list. And of course, which is no surprise, you had Alar up there, number 1. Julian Sain. I don't know the mix of the rest. Dylan Raiola was up there. I think Bryce Under. It was a top 10 list. I know Nico was 10. Bryce was number 8, I believe. You know, it's a preseason poll for the top 10 quarterbacks in the Big Ten. You know, and to be honest, I think number 8 is fair for Bryce. I think that's fair. Bryce ain't proved nothing yet. He ain't proved nothing yet. So to say, oh, Bryce should be top 5 or top 4 or 3 or something or whatever, that's pretty ridiculous. You know, we don't know how good this guy's gonna look. You know, we have hopes. We have predictions, and we know he's talented, but talent only goes. You got a talented guy, but now you got to put pen to paper. You know, the rubber has to meet the road. It's time to put up a shut up. You got to put up a shut up when it's time to play New Mexico and on. You know. Then by the end of the season or mid-season, we'll figure out, okay, what's really good. You know, Julian saying he hasn't proved anything, but he's at Ohio State. He's got Ryan Day's system. He's got top wide receivers. You know, so that's part of it. That's part of the deal. So, you know, any quarterback that's scheduled to be the starter at Ohio State, he's probably going to be ranked high when somebody makes a list. He's going to be top 3 probably every time because of the system and the receivers. It's proven, you know. So Bryce coming in as a true freshman with a lot of unproven receivers, whether they have the talent or not, or whether they're big name recruit or not, they're still unproven. And then you have Chip Lindsey installing a new system at Michigan. We don't know exactly how it's going to look. Now we have thoughts on how it could look. We have thoughts on how it's a versatile system and he'll beat you however he needs to, whether that's run or pass, you know, with RPOs mixed in there also. We still have to see it. We still have to see it executed. We still have to see it, you know. So that's the thing. You know, and it is what it is. You know. It is what it is. Dylan Raiola, I gotta see more from him. He showed flashes. Dylan Raiola showed flashes last year, but I gotta see more. You know, I ain't gonna front. Dylan Raiola disappointed me in that game versus Ohio State. They had him, and he missed throws. You know, so I gotta see him do it in the big games. You can have the talent, you can have the arm strength, you can have the ball placement, but I have to see, okay, how do you play in big games? You can have the talent and all that stuff, the receivers also, but some dudes, the moment is too big for him. That could have just been last year since he was a freshman. I gotta see it though. The clutch gene, to be clutch, it don't matter. You can be a freshman, you could be a senior. To me, the clutch gene is something you have or you don't have. He's clutch. He makes big time plays. You don't got to be a senior to do that. You can be a senior and still not make those plays because the moment is too big for you. That was a big chance for him to showcase that. He missed the throws when they were there, wide open touchdowns. I'm gonna hold that against you until I see otherwise. Dylan Raiola, so I'm holding that against him till he shows me, yeah, I am that dude. I don't care if it's Ohio State, Michigan. I don't care who it is. I'm here to play. I want to be Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna show you why they think I'm baby Patrick Mahomes, or I'm gonna show you why I think myself as baby Patrick Mahomes, because that's who he thinks he is. You know what I'm saying? So you got to show me. So this is his next year. I don't even think they don't even play Ohio State this year. They play us, so we'll see how he does against us. We'll see how he does against us. If it's a close game or not, and he has to make some of those big time clutch throws. I'm interested NFL now. I'm interested to see how JJ does. I think JJ might ball out this year if he can stay healthy. I was going back and forth with I think that was Garrison. On whether or not JJ was going to be, on how good JJ was going to be. I think he was saying he was going to be a middle of the pack quarterback. That's his opinion. But I think JJ's in the perfect system or team to be successful. You're with a good quarterback. You're with a good quarterback coach, good offensive coordinator, and you've got maybe the best wide receiver in the league. I think JJ is set up to ball out, honestly. I think JJ is set up to ball out. I think he went to the perfect fit, honestly. And speaking on quarterbacks going from college to pro, the pro game is so different because as a quarterback, you have to throw guys open. Covered in college is open in the pros. In the pros, you have to throw guys open. And to me, and this is just my opinion, a lot of quarterbacks, let's just say Ohio State, I think they have trouble in the pros because the scheme is so good and you're playing with the best wide receivers in the country. So you've got a great passing scheme with great college receivers. You don't have to process the game at as high of a rate, and you don't have to make as many NFL throws because great scheme with great receiver ability, you have guys wide open. You have guys super wide open. Sometimes you watch an Ohio State game going against, because a lot of the time it's not like in college you're not playing great competition every week. So a lot of the competition that you see them go against, they're already outmatched. So the opponent is already outmatched. So when you watch a lot of their games, their receivers are running wide open. 5-yard separation, 6-yard separation, 10 yards of separation. You're seeing their receivers so wide open that I think them going to the pros, it's almost a shock to have to consistently have to throw guys open. That being the quarterback, not the receivers. I mean, the receivers are the receivers. I think it's a shock to a lot of their quarterbacks when they get to the pros, they have to throw guys open. The clock has to be sped up, and the anticipation has to go up to another notch, because they really haven't had to do that at Ohio State. Not that much. You know what I'm saying? So time and time again, they have to throw guys open. They have to make big time throws that they didn't have to make in college. It's just my opinion. Now, CJ Stroud, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different. CJ was just, he is what he is for the most part, you know. But I think those other guys struggle with that because the scheme matched up with great wide receivers. NFL throw, what? I don't got to make NFL throws. These dudes are wide open. They're wide open. You know? It's my opinion. This is my opinion. You know, agree or don't. That's why I think a lot of their quarterbacks struggle in the NFL that we've seen in the recent history. You know, they put up great numbers in college and then they kind of struggle in the NFL. I think that's why. But a dude like JJ, and now I'm going to compare JJ since I was just talking about JJ. I think JJ did, if you really look at JJ kind of did more with less. So JJ hasn't had great elite wide receivers. Now he had Colston Loveland at tight end, but he hasn't had great receivers. You know? So he's going to a team that's loaded at receiver with a great offensive coordinator or offensive-minded coach. I think JJ is set up to thrive. That's if he can stay healthy. I think JJ is set up to thrive. You know what I'm saying? If he does, I know people, that's just because of Justin Jefferson. I know that's coming. If he does thrive. But I think he's set up to. And I think a quarterback that's used to playing with less, when he actually does get really good receivers, I think that's something that you might want to watch out. Because he used to having to do it with less. You get what I'm saying? Because the thing wasn't that Michigan fans, we all knew JJ could throw it like that. It's just that wasn't Harbaugh's system. So he wasn't asked to throw it like that. He wasn't asked to do it. And he only lost one game as a starter. So obviously he didn't really need to. The only game we can look at is, okay, the TCU game. Where he put up numbers, but he threw 2 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? But I think JJ might be set up to put up numbers, honestly. My opinion. That CJ's perceived shoulder injury was actually overblown. He may not win that. But yeah, I think that's the difference with dudes. Now of course you've got your guys like Joe Burrow, who's shown that he's like that in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? He's shown that he's like that, but he also, you know, has pretty good receivers. You know, he got his boy from Jamar Chase, you know, got him with him, and you know the other receiver, was it Higgins? I think, you know, but Joe Burrow balling. Joe Burrow's a baller. He ain't going. Hey, Joe Burrow ain't going. I ain't gonna lie. That 2019 season, it took me about 3 games. And then I was like, hey, this dude's something else. I was a fan. Took me about 3-4 games, and then I was like, oh, I became a fan of Joe Burrow because I never saw anything like it. I never saw anything like that. Where their defense was trash, and then they just realized, okay, we just have to be not horrible on defense, and we got something. We just have to not be horrible on defense, and we're going to win a championship. Because this dude and this offense is unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? So I became a fan of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and that whole offense, Clyde Edwards-Helaire in 2019, because that was something to see. Like, this dude had almost 70 touchdowns. Unbelievable what they was doing out there. Like, they real deal looked like the Patriots with Randy Moss and Wes Welker or something like that. Like, they were real deal just destroying teams. Like, bro, you're not gonna keep up with us. You're not gonna keep up with us. So they realized we just have to play average or slightly below average defense, and we about to win a championship. And they did. Because that offense was something to see, boy. If you weren't paying attention, or you just weren't a fan, you're not a real college football fan, so you weren't really watching LSU like that, you missed out. Because what Joe Burrow and them boys did, that was something serious. Boy, that was something serious. Man. You talking about really enjoying to watch somebody play quarterback and play offense. Joe Brady, Edwards-Helaire, Baby Moss at tight end, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Whew. Now that was offense. That was some offense right there. You know. I became a fan of them, but long story short, I done got sidetracked. But end of the day, them boys, Joe Burrow proved he's that guy. Like, I'm that guy. You know, that type of energy. And I think JJ has that kind of energy too. To me, he does. You know. And this is before he even came to Michigan. When he was a Michigan commit and 2020 was going on, JJ went on Twitter and said, Michigan Nation, calm down. I need everybody to take a deep breath and relax. I have no doubt that the coaches and the players are doing everything to win, you know, and just calm down. Just calm. This is a dude in high school. Like, who you telling to calm down, boy? We trash. We trash. You ain't even here yet. Telling all us to calm down. Like, shout out to JJ, man. But that's who he is. You know, whether you want to say he's not this, he's not that. You got some balls to send out tweets like that, like you Aaron Rodgers or something, telling people to calm down. You ain't even on the team. You not even at Michigan yet, and you telling people to calm down. We about to right the ship. You got some balls on you, boy. You got some cojones. That's some cojones to do that, and to not only come to Michigan and, you know, play sparingly, but when you do become the starter, you lose one game. And you see the type of energy he has. You know, we go up against Ohio State, we get the lead, and he's telling dudes to calm down, don't get too high, That's leadership. That's leadership. That's understanding the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to bet against JJ. It's hard for me to bet against him. And if you're really unbiased and look at JJ's history, you wouldn't bet against him either. Because every time it seems like you get burned if you do. He just ain't a dude that I can see betting against. Because I look at his track record. You look at his track record. Dude barely lost in high school. I don't know if he did lose in high school. I mean, he was at IMG. But I don't know if he did lose in high school. He only lost as a starter once in college. You know what I'm saying? So he's not somebody that I would bet against, especially not with that offense he has at the Vikings, on the Vikings. I wouldn't bet against him to be a baller, to make a Pro Bowler too. That's just my opinion though. Shoot you a text. I got you, Steven. Do you think Michigan's 2023 defense could slow down that 2019 LSU offense if those teams ever played? Ooh, wee. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. That's a good one. Ooh, that's a good matchup. Woo. I don't know. I think they could slow them down. I'm not sure if they could slow them down enough to... Well, let me think again. Because that LSU defense was trash. They became better as the year went on, but they were still pretty bad. Ooh, I don't know. Because I honestly, I don't know how good that LSU offensive line was. It had to be pretty good for Joe Burrow and Joe Burrow to have almost 70 touchdowns. But a lot of those were three-step drops, if I remember correctly. And he was just throwing up bombs to Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. 1, 2, 3, boom. Or a 5-step drop and that thing was out. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing that, it's hard for a defensive line to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe Burrow wasn't holding on to that ball too long. Because if he wasn't throwing those bombs, he was also getting rid of it quick to Edwards-Helaire, checking it down, kind of on a West Coast offense style. You know? So the question, I think that the question would be, would Minter be able to confuse Joe Burrow enough to slow them down? I don't know. I kind of want to say he would be able to, but I don't know. That's a hell of a matchup. Because Minter made every quarterback have a bad day against Michigan that year. And Michigan was loaded. You know, you had Sainer still, you had Will Johnson, Rod Moore was healthy, you had Keon Sabb, you know, Junior Colson, Mike Barrett, Chris Jenkins, Braden McGregor, Jalen Harrell, Josiah Stewart, a young Derek Moore. Michigan was loaded on defense. Hausman was coming off the bench in the rotation. Michigan was loaded on defense. Josh Wallace, who people act like he was trash, he wasn't. Oh, hell. So, I don't know. That's a hell of a matchup. You got an ambulance coming. I don't know, though, bro. That's a hell of a matchup. I never really thought about it too much. I never really thought about it, but that's a hell of a matchup, bro. Joe Burrow and them boys against that 2023 Michigan defense. I don't know. I think they would be able to slow them down a little bit or a good amount. The question would be, how much is that Michigan offense going to be able to do? Are they going to be able to really just do what they want to do? with Blake and Donovan just running that rock? You know what I'm saying? It's a good question. Of course, I'm going to be somewhat biased as a Michigan fan, but I don't know, because that 2019 LSU, man, they were good. Offensively, them boys was some serious. They was something serious. Yep. The way they slowed down Washington, and that's what I'm thinking too. The way they slowed down Washington gives me hope that they could. But when I think about that, now I'm thinking, all right, is Michigan's offense going to be able to cook and ball control? Because you don't slow down an offense like that all by defense alone. You want to be able to do it with defense and your offense using ball control to keep them on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? And that LSU defense, I know they had a dude about 400 pounds in the middle. I know they had him. That dude was a monster. He was about 370. Dude was huge. That doggone nose tackle was so big and fat. It's a hell of a matchup, though. I'd love to see it, because the chess match, I'd love to see that chess match between Joe Brady and Jesse Minter. I'd love to see that, bro. That's something I like. The chess match between those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Deciding on what we want to take away. Of course, you want to take away the deep ball. I don't want Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson catching bombs, 50-yard bombs. No. I want you to have to slowly matriculate. And they could. They could play both ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it becomes a headache, because they could do both. They weren't just a big play offense. Joe Burrow was patient. He'll slice and dice you up now. He'll slice and dice you. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a really good back also. So that's a hell of a matchup to think about. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't just, it's big plays and that's it. No, if we got to drive this field, if we got to go on a 10-play drive, we can do that too. That doggone Joe Burrow was hard to stop. If it wasn't the receivers, if it wasn't Clyde Edwards-Helaire running it or coming out of the backfield, Joe Burrow was picking up yards with his legs too. Whew. That's a nightmare. That's a pregame analysis that if I was to do, it might go 30 minutes. It might be one of them long 30-minute pregame analysis, because it's just so much to think about, honestly. You know what I'm saying? That offense was so versatile. Such a versatile offense. I love that type of stuff. I love that type of stuff. See, I love to troll. I love to troll Ohio State fans and go on my rants and, make fun of them. But when Ohio State had Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and all them boys, those were my favorite pregame analysis, because it takes thought to do. It takes a lot of thought, because it's not going to be easy to stop them. So I really enjoy thinking about how Michigan is going to have to stop them, the different ways that they could beat you. You know what I'm saying? The different ways that they could beat you. You know what I'm saying? Not just through the air, but on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I love the analysis of the game. So to think about having to stop that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Baby Moss, Justin Jefferson, Edwards-Helaire, Joe Burrow's legs. Thinking about having to stop all that, bro. That's what I love. That's what I love, for real. And then seeing thinking about Michigan's offense trying to counter that by ball control, milking that clock, keeping Joe Burrow and all them boys on the sideline mad because Michigan is on a 7-minute drive. So they on the sideline losing all that momentum that they gained, or maybe that they didn't get on the last drive. They on the sideline waiting, hungry to get back on the field, and possibly getting too hungry, so they try to get it all in one play. You know what I'm saying? That's the chess match. That's the chess match. I love that stuff. That's what I love. You know, getting the clown Ohio State, that just comes with it, hopefully. But the analysis is what I love. That's what I love about the game. Chess, not checkers. Not checkers like the Notre Dame fan last night. He checkers. He playing Foursquare. He playing Foursquare. He ain't playing chess. He ain't playing chess, y'all. He playing Foursquare. He playing Uno, draw two. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Steven. So to even say, like, man, we're slowing down LSU's pass game, and then they get into crucial third downs, and Joe Burrow is picking up crucial first downs with his legs. That I think that would be the backbreaker. If Michigan couldn't beat him, I think if it was a close game and Michigan lost, I think the backbreaker would be Joe Burrow picking up crucial first downs with his legs. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot to deal with. To have to deal with that receiver group, and then somehow you do slow them down, and now you still gotta worry about Clyde Edwards-Helaire coming out of the backfield, because he was a monster doing that stuff, you know, and you still gotta worry about him running, and then you slow all of that down. Oh, I forgot. Joe Burrow is scrambling with his legs. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be the backbreaker. That's a lot to deal with. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole lot. That ain't like dealing with Jalen Milroe or something. Because, you know, Milroe, he was either throwing deep or he was running it. You know what I'm saying? Throwing deep, running it. You know? CJ Stroud. See, CJ Stroud could have had us like that. If he could have gave us a real nightmare, if CJ Stroud would have just decided to run. Because there were so many times in that 2022 and 2023, no, in that 2022 and 2021 game where he could have ran and he just didn't run for whatever reason, and he tried an extremely tough throw and it was incomplete when he could have got 5 yards. He could have got 10 yards. Some of these times he probably could have got 15 yards, and he just decided to try an extremely tough pass, which, you know, the other day I was talking about NBA players settling for threes. So in football, as a quarterback, CJ Stroud against Michigan, he was settling for threes. That's the equivalent to me. Trying to throw tough passes that are well covered, when you could have ran for 5 yards. You could have ran for 10 yards. You could have ran for 15 yards. You know what I'm saying? So CJ Stroud really let Michigan get off easy. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that Michigan wasn't guarding everything well, but some of those times he could have ran and got those yards. They were there, especially 2022. 2021, not so much, because we had Aiden and Ojabo. But 2022, Michigan's pass rush wasn't all that good. And so he had a lot of time. And sometimes he just could have ran. But he didn't. You know, against Georgia, he did. Against Georgia, he gave them everything that they wanted. You know, no shade, no nothing. He gave Georgia everything that they wanted and more, honestly. I know they were like, man, this dude is a headache. This dude is a headache. But against Michigan, for whatever reason, he didn't do that. He wasn't trying to run. You know, so he let Michigan off easy on a lot of downs. He did. He did. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but these are just facts. I ain't got no reason to lie. We won the game. I ain't got no reason to lie. We won. You know what I'm saying? But if CJ Stroud would have used his legs more to pick up first down and to get extra yardage, that 2022 game might have ended different, and it might have been a nightmare. It might have been a real headache. It would have been a real headache for us. You know, but it is what it is, you know. So I think that's the real difference between like a Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, that boy was just a nightmare that whole year. He didn't care. But Zach Smith says, shout out to Zach Smith. Zach Smith says that Joe Burrow is just that type of dude. Like, he said Joe Burrow would get mad that you even thought to blitz him. Like, whether it was in practice or in games, like, he would get mad at a coach trying to blitz him. Like, you really trying to blitz me? Oh, you blitzing me? I bet. Bet. You really trying to blitz me? I bet. I'm gonna show you. I don't know who you think you playing, but you messed up trying to blitz me. I'm gonna show you. That's a baller right there, boy. That's a baller right there, boy. To think like that, like, oh, you blitzing me? Bet. I got you. You want to blitz me? All right. Go ahead. Please do it again. Please. So, it is what it is, you know. But I done got off track. I don't even know what I was talking about. But I think, oh yeah, JJ. This is how we got on this rabbit hole. But long story short, I think JJ is gonna be good this year. I really do. That's if he can stay healthy. The best ability is availability. So if JJ can stay healthy, I think he's gonna have a good year. I'm not gonna say Pro Bowl, but I think it's gonna be a good first year actually starting. I do. Because I think the system matched with his receivers, I think he's set up to thrive, honestly. You know. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I wouldn't bet against JJ. I wouldn't do it. Even if I'm an Ohio State fan, I wouldn't bet against him. It's just not smart to me. Betting it against this dude, he always come out on top almost every time. Ain't nothing to bet against. You betting against JJ, that's bad odds. That's bad odds. You know, I think he's just one of those dudes that he's got the right intangibles, you know, to win, I think. But we'll find out. We'll find out if he stays healthy. The word's out of Vikings camp that he's been killing it. And honestly, the clips I've seen, he is throwing that thing. That boy is rifling that thing in there. Like, The throws I'm seeing that JJ's making, I mean, it's OTAs, so we're gonna take it with a grain of salt. But a lot of the throws that I'm seeing, the DBs aren't even getting a chance to try to make a play on it. He's anticipating the throw and throwing it so hard. The DB don't even got a chance to make the throw. I mean, to make a play on the ball. What up, unapologetic? You've been missing you've been missing in action. Unapologetic. She like, I ain't rocking with y'all no more. I done moved on. I ain't rocking with you. What's going on, unapologetic? How you been? But yeah, the way JJ's been throwing it, from the clips I've seen, the DB don't even get a chance to make a play on it. You know, he is rifling that thing in there, bro. Like, you don't even get a chance to make a play on it. But it's OTAs. Let's take it with a grain of salt. But I'm at the crib. Tomorrow I'll be going live, and I'm gonna be talking about John Mateer. I think Maniac and Maze should be on with me, and we're gonna be chopping it up about John Mateer. We're gonna get in. I'm not monetized, so I'm gonna be showing some of his highlights from last year, because I'm not monetized right now, so I might as well show it. And I'll probably delete it afterwards, just to stay on the good grace, I guess. But I'm suspended right now anyway, so we're gonna be watching some of his film and going over some of his stuff. His schedule last year was garbage, but we're gonna get into that tomorrow. And then at 11, tomorrow at 11, and then Sunday, 2:00. We can still, I don't know, the Sunday show, just be looking out. I might change that time because it's Father's Day, so I'll probably do like Mother's Day and change the time to like 6 or 7. You know what I'm saying? Because people gonna be trying to, even though people don't really go out to dinner for Father's Day, you just kind of make Pop's grill. Hey, Pop still got to work on Father's Day. He out there grilling, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to respect it. Shout out to the dads, all the pops, all the fathers. And we're going to do a later show on Sunday. We're going to probably go like 6 or 7, just in case. Some people probably do take their dad out to dinner, give Pops a break, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to go a later show on Sunday, But that's all. And I got a new intro. Shout out to Sean. He's always making me stuff. He makes the thumbnails. He done made me a fire. This that fire. He done made me a fire intro, and I'm gonna show it on Saturday. Before the show, we gonna introduce the new intro, and it's fire. It is fire. So shout out to Sean, because he just came out the blue with it, started making me thumbnails, made me an intro video, and he didn't want nothing. I offered the cash app, and he said, no, brother, this is just keep cooking. Just keep cooking. I enjoy the content, you know what I'm saying? I made this for the channel. I'm just supporting. So shout out to him. So yeah, I got off suspension, and then they approved my channel again, and then like a month later, they suspended it again, and I'm not sure why. So when I reapply to get monetized, I gotta delete a lot of those videos of practices, of Michigan practices and stuff with music behind it. I got to delete a lot of that stuff. I think that's why. So I'm gonna have to scrub a lot of those YouTube shorts, because that's the only thing that I can see what's against YouTube's policies, I guess you would say, is using that stuff. So I'm gonna have to scrub my channel, really those YouTube shorts, a lot of those practice videos, and then it should be straight. So, but that's all I got for this one, y'all. I appreciate y'all joining. Shout out to Unapologized back in the field. So like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue. Oh, Unapologetic was in Miami. Oh, she was MIA in Miami. Okay, girl, I ain't mad at you. It's nice down here. It's love down here. You know, I'm in Tampa. But like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.